Good morning.
Good morning.
Today is our 31st anniversary. It is July 23rd, 2025, and we are going to do a trip down memory lane and visit all of our old stomping grounds and favorite spots and first times.
Milestones.
So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting day.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Beautiful weather.
And we're going to journal all these cool spots so we remember them forever and we have them to show others.
Sounds fun.
Bye.
Now, our first stop actually is, it's called Blue Rooster Cafe. It's in Cape St. Clair, but it used to be called Cravings, and we would stop here on school mornings, and then also like Sunday morning, church Sunday mornings. And it was one of my favorite places because they had Carlson's donuts, which are the best, undisputed.
Marshmallow cream.
Yeah, no, well, chocolate covered, but everybody has their own preference. So we're gonna have breakfast at Blue Rooster, which used to be Cravings, and then we're gonna take you to our next stop.
Okay, we're here at Cape St. Clair Beach. This is where we used to come very regularly when we lived at the Cape and take the kids to the park, sit at the beach and play, and come down here for coffee and
All kinds of fun little moments. A couple that stand out to me, and we'll get down there in a minute, on the mornings of, or the days of the birth of Beth and Allie, I inevitably would have to run home from the hospital to get something and bring it back. And on those mornings, both times, I was able to come here at sunrise, early in the morning, and just reflect on what had just happened, that a child was just born, that our family expanded, and it was just special for me to just have that moment of gratefulness. And it makes this beach really important in our early family history. And kids had lots of fun here. We've had birthday parties, we've had just times to come down and play on the playground and swing, but an important spot.
And when Beth was born and we brought her home from the hospital, we came down to the beach that morning and just sat with her and in a blanket. It was a beautiful July morning, and just sat under the shady tree and just kissed her cute little face.
They added the path. Nice little touch. Kids probably remember when they would do the Strawberry Festival, which they still do the Strawberry Festival, but they would set up the moon bounces and everything over here. Oh, so many times the kids were playing on the jungle gym. I think it's a different one now. It used to have that bar going across that they could slide. You would like hang on and you got to the end and you'd be going so fast and you hit it, your legs would fly out. Darcy would love this. Major would love it.
Oh yeah, they would love it.
People bring their dogs early in the morning. Now they've got a gate person there. We had to give them our address just to come in here.
But we sat right under there, that tree, and just got sand in my shoes. Sat on a blanket right under there, those trees on the beach. Anyway, love you guys.
All right, we just finished at the Cape St. Clair beach, and now we came up the road to our Cape St. Clair house. And this, I wish I had the exact date, probably 2001 we moved in here and lived here until 2007. So 6 years. This house was important. It was our first single family home. It was the house that Beth was born at. It's the house that Allie was born at. Lots of young childhood memories for the kids at the Cape House and in Cape St. Clair. So this is another special spot. We love this house. When we were looking at homes, we looked at many houses, but when we saw this one and the mature trees and the rolling hill of the yard, we just fell in love with it. And it was a great home for us. We still own it, so now it's a rental property, and love to do some things to it. But here it is. This is the Cape House.
And this is the house where we brought Mom to come live with us. It was when we were looking at houses, that had a place that she could have too, have her own little bedroom and living room and entrance and have some privacy. So this was when she moved in with us for the first time. Yeah, awesome.
See ya. I'll leave my sunglasses.
Okay.
All right, we added a stop actually. This is Anne Arundel Community College, and specifically we're going to the main athletic field where we graduated together. So that was 1994 May.
The year we got married.
Summer we got married. I had finished, took me 3 years to get my 2-year degree because I basically failed every class my first 2 semesters. And then Mary started after her graduation and we finished at the same time. She was valedictorian and they rolled me over the field, over the entrance.
Not true.
No. But I know I was on academic probation and all those things, so not a good student, but I finished. So this was the, in May they had the chairs set up. The graduation ceremony was out here on this field. It was a grass field then, now it's turf. But this was an important spot for us. It was where I met my first real employer. The president of the college was also a business owner, an engineering firm in Annapolis, and then I did some IT work for them. I got some aggressive people here, and then got that job and moved on to other jobs. But this was an important time.
Yep. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, and Chris was like, "Hey, let's go up to the college and register you," and encouraged me to start. And I fell in love with I was always a good student, but just kind of fell in love with learning, and I started the paralegal program here and had a really good experience. It was really nice school, great teachers, and it was really nice.
We both had a good experience here. It was cheap. And then you transferred to University of Baltimore, and I eventually came back to education. But this is where it started. I can remember many days hanging out in that parking lot, either skipping class or after class or between class, sitting in the Honda Civic, listening to music and just hanging out.
I remember one time I came up here and left a note on your car. Yeah, in the Honda Civic, and yeah. That was in the days of writing notes, because that's the age that we were from, where you wrote on paper and you gave a person a piece of paper.
I did have a cell phone. I don't think you did.
But there was no texting.
No texting. You had to call, and when you called, it cost a couple of dollars every time you called.
Yeah.
And we couldn't afford that.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. All right, we're at our next stop. This is Woods Memorial Presbyterian Church in Severna Park, Maryland, which was the church of my grandparents, Cliff and Jerry Hyatt, through their life, and the church I went to as a kid, my mother's church. This was the place of technically our first date, which was, as friends, I asked Mary to go with me to my mother's wedding. I definitely had other ideas. She was clueless. She's like, "I'll go as your friend." Yeah. So my mom remarried in October of 1990, and this is where she was married. So we came here as a couple. I was in the wedding, I think. I don't remember.
You were,
Sure I was.
yeah.
And so we had the wedding here, and then the reception was at a restaurant over on the Magathy, which I forget the name of it, but this is technically our first date. What do you remember of that day?
I remember feeling so incredibly awkward. I heard someone say, Chris's girlfriend. And I'm like, no, we're not girlfriend, boyfriend, but it was all his family, and it was awkward. And I was like, this was a bad idea. And I didn't have anything to wear because I was probably 16 or...
Yeah, 1990.
Yeah, so I didn't have anything to wear.
16.
And so my friend, Kim Glandon at the time, lent me one of her dresses so that I could have something to wear. And yeah, it was really sweet. Bye. This is West Savannah Park Beach. Lots of little memories down here with Mama and Papa. Coming down here to the beach. Papa would bring Brandon down here to fish. We have the cutest picture of Brandon on our mantle bookshelf of him fishing, which is one of my favorite pictures of him. So cute. And
so on,
set it up for us.
Yep. It was the night of my senior prom. Antioch
Banquet?
Christian School did banquets, so it was a senior banquet. We're going to go to the location that the senior banquet was located in, Quiet Waters Park. But I got a limousine for that trip, and it was Mary and I. And
Bougie all the way back then.
I think, yeah, and Jim Millette and Jerry Ann. That was the double date. And after the banquet, we were looking for something to do. So I had the idea of coming down here. It was a beautiful summer night. So the limousine came down here, parked in the parking lot there. And then Mary and I walked around a bit. We were all dressed up. I was in a tuxedo and she was in her blue dress. And we walked down to this pier. I remember the moon was out, so there was some moonlight. It was probably 10 o'clock at night. And the steps aren't here anymore, but there used to be steps right here on the pier. These sides weren't here, so it was just a flat pier. And there was a set of steps that went right down into where this marsh area is now, but it was a sandy beach then. And we sat on this, right here on the steps. Mary was on the step in front of me, kind of between my legs, and I was sitting up on the pier. So we were just sitting here admiring the night, looking at the moon, just feeling the night air. And this was where we first kissed. That was just a little peck, but this was our first kiss.
It was
right
more
here.
than a little peck.
Was it? It was more than a little peck.
I remember it vividly.
Well, what's your version?
Same version.
Yeah.
But we were sitting there talking. We had walked to the edge of the pier. Lots of flirting, and yeah, I don't know if you asked me or if you just kissed me.
I remember you turned, because you were a little lower than me, so you turned around and looked up at me, and I could just remember the moonlight in your face, and that's when I kissed you. I'm like, this is it, or it ain't happening. It happened.
It happened. 4 kids later.
Yeah, true.
But that didn't happen. It was just a kiss.
It was a very innocent kiss. In the spot. All right, we're in Glen Burnie, off of Ordnance Road. This was our first house. The summer of 1994, after we graduated from Anne Arundel Community College, and we were looking for a place to live after we got married, we wanted to buy, and we were able to buy that condo. It's 302 Blue Water Court, number 303. It was new construction, so this was all being built. And we came here. I don't remember having a real estate agent. We must have. We looked at the model, and they were super cute, 2-bedroom condominiums. So Mary just reminded me, they started in the $70,000 range if you got a first floor, and then they kind of went up in price from there. So we got a 3rd floor unit with cathedral ceilings and probably other options, really impractical white carpet.
And I would say, I was thinking this morning, don't ever do that.
Yeah.
Take it from us. But I would say, on second thought, do it. Like, get the white carpet. When else are you going to get white carpet?
And we didn't have kids. We had a couple of cats, a cat, I think,
we
at
were
the time.
Living with our head in the clouds.
Yeah. So that was our first house. We bought that in 1994. We lived there until Grace was born.
Nope.
We lived there. Oh, you're right. So we only lived there 94. Brandon wasn't born there. We moved the summer of 97. So we moved, he wasn't born here.
He wasn't born here. Brandon was born in May.
Yeah,
so,
in Edgewater.
Yeah.
Which would have been May of 97. We had just moved in.
What's the summer? It's the spring.
Okay. So from 94 to 97, we lived here. When we moved out, we didn't sell it. We tried to sell it. We couldn't sell it. So we kept it, turned it into a rental property, and then moved to the townhouse, which we'll take you to later. But then 97, 98, 99, Grace was born.
We moved back in 2000.
We moved back in. We sold the townhouse, and the renters were out. We did some renovations here. It was Mary's idea to consolidate, cut some of our expenses, go back to this condo, which I did not like the idea. But then when I got my head around it and thought, oh, well, we'll refresh the kitchen, we'll put in new carpet, we painted, we did some just cute little touch-up things, and it was very nice. Yeah,
very. We really enjoyed that second round of living there. It was really nice. When we first moved in and first got married, my brother Chris didn't really have a place to stay and was finishing up his last year of high school, so he moved in with us probably for about a year, maybe a little less. So that was interesting on a new marriage.
Yeah, that's true. But we got through that.
We did, yeah.
And we'll walk you over to, let me just turn the camera around. I guess we can. And walk you to the Crystal Springs. And I wouldn't say we use this pool a lot, but we used it a few times the summers that we were here and that we had kids. I was just looking at a picture the other day of baby Grace at this pool. But a memory that I have is this fence wasn't here, so it was just the rolling hill. And I had a double stroller. We bought a new double stroller because now we had 2 kids. So Grace was propped up there, Brandon was in the stroller, and we came to this hill and down this hill, and the whole...
It wasn't locked.
It had a faulty lock because they recalled it. The whole stroller collapsed. It like folded. So I don't think Grace fell out, but it was dramatic. Like the kids went forward, and it was shocking. But then I do remember this right on this hill. And then we had many summer days that we'd hang out at this pool.
Fun times.
Yeah. You worked
a lot
in
of fun memories. I did work in Baltimore.
Super convenient because we're right on Route 10. You could pop into the city in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then I was working in Annapolis and could easily pop onto 97, not as quickly, but get down into Annapolis. So good times here. We eventually sold it, and
I wish we hadn't.
Yeah, true.
I'd love to still have it. Yeah. Okay, here we are at Crofton McDonald's. I think hopefully you can hear us.
The speaker right over our head.
Yeah, so you might hear some background noise because we're at the Crofton McDonald's. And this is where Dad and I would stop on the way home from youth group. He took me home because I wasn't allowed to ride with my boyfriend because we were boyfriend and girlfriend. So he would take me home because we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. And he said, do you want to stop and get ice cream? So we stopped and got my very favorite dessert, which was a McDonald's caramel sundae. So we got that caramel sundae.
Which we're not going to eat because we're doing a detox, but we still had to get it. We got water bottles.
Posterity. And I will say also, this place is where I had my first job. I was living with the Houstons after I moved out of my brother John's house with his wife Kelly, and so I got a job here as a server, and I probably worked here for 6 months. I remember I got employee of the month the first month I was here, and all the other employees got angry at me. And the reason I got employee of the month is because my cash register added up, and they were not happy about that because they were skimming and taking money out of the cash register. And I highlighted the fact that it was possible that the cash register match up, and I was very naive.
You didn't get it. You weren't in on the gig.
No, I wasn't in on the gig. And they were like, you're making us look bad. But anyway.
And this is, so we're in Crofton, so I grew up in Crofton. This is also where I had, like right back there, I had my 5th birthday party. We used to be able to have birthday parties at McDonald's. They would bring out a cake with a sugar Ronald McDonald on it. I can remember eating that hard sugar Ronald McDonald. I got a bike for my birthday. And it was also one of the first McDonald's in Maryland to have a drive-thru. So I remember going through here with my mom in the drive-thru. But so this was a special McDonald's for many reasons. Many reasons. It's been here for 50, probably 60 years.
And
but this is...
Yeah, and Dad and I would sit here after youth group and just really, I think this is where I realized that I really, really liked him. He was really cool. He was funny. He was interesting, and I think this is probably where I realized I really like this guy. So,
Good.
yeah.
I really like it. We're at Turkey Point, which is a source of a lot of memories. Mary lived here for a couple of years.
Yep. Well, my mom was taking care of Lorena, and I can't remember how old she was, but I moved in here when I was 17 and lived in the basement for a year. I lived here until we got married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spent lots of summer nights out here, and
yeah, I was just saying, I remember like putting a blanket out, sitting under the stars. This is a gorgeous tree right here. Just a lot of great memories. We had a small 17-foot Mako that we'd ride around here in Ramsey Lake or out into the South River and down to Mike's Crab House or wherever, or out to Thomas Point Lighthouse. And then when we decided to get married, I approached the owner of the property and said, could we get married here? She loved the idea.
Yeah, it's on this beautiful little peninsula. So cute.
And then I couldn't just have some, temporary structure. So I had the idea of building a gazebo, buying or building. So I looked into buying. Gazebos were very expensive. So I thought, well, I could design this and build it. So I designed it while I was working for the Navy in Crystal City. I had access to a computer-aided design software. I started to lay it out, looked at other designs that I'd seen before, and came up with this design. And then started to build it. I actually didn't have the design finished until I got to the very top. So I originally only had the base design. So built this the summer of 1994. And then we got married on this day, July 23rd.
Right here.
Right on these steps.
Yeah.
We were down here. We were like...
Okay, so right here is where we said I do.
This was the spot. Were you on that side and I was on this side?
No, I was on this
Other
side,
way around?
yeah.
Okay. Well,
And I
not to scale.
noticed that he had one spot that he hadn't shaved because he had stayed out really late at a crazy bachelor party.
Crazy bachelor party was a fishing trip, and then sleeping over at Alan McGuckian and Mike Hughes' house. And through the night, at some point, they decided to put shaving cream all over my body.
They sprung a surprise attack and covered him from head to toe in shaving cream.
Yep.
And even put it down his pants.
I don't know if that's true.
It's true.
So,
I have a picture.
but this is where we got married.
Yep, it's a little worse for the wear, but it still is standing.
Very
So cute. Yep. I still do, and he still does.
I still do, very much.
We still do. Cute. Look how beautiful this is.
Really, it's gorgeous.
Let's take a I want to get the background better. Yeah.
Get some pictures after you stop the video. Chapel in the Woods. This is Mayo United Methodist Church. It was our backup wedding location if we had bad weather the day of the wedding, but it was our reception location. So after the wedding, we came here and had a reception, and everybody had fun. It was a good video document of that day. But I actually vaguely remember coming back here, I guess, to take wedding pictures.
We did.
Were we on? We were right here somehow? So I think this is in one of our wedding pictures.
Yeah, it is.
Where like I'm kneeling,
Yeah.
maybe you're sitting somewhere. But this is the Chapel in the Woods at Mayo United Methodist Church where we took some pictures and had our wedding reception. Wedding receptions inside, pictures out here.
Cool.
Where am I? Who's talking here?
You're talking today.
Okay. I think this is our last stop today. We're in Edgewater in South River Colony, and this was our townhouse, 3808, I think it was. I don't remember even know the name of the road, but we moved here after the condo, before the second time at the condo. This was the house that Brandon was born in.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh was our theme. He was
had a
so
super cute bedroom.
Yeah.
And then the second bedroom we set up as a guest room. Chris Height lived there for a while.
Dolores lived there for a while.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't remember that. There was 3 bedrooms upstairs, big main level, and then a finished basement, and then a garage. It was a great house. We were overextended when we were here, so we had to regroup. But it was fun, and the house appreciated significantly while we were there.
I think it was less about being overextended than you had some life changes, circumstances. We lost a baby, you lost your job,
Yep.
and then we were like, we have another place to move into that's cheaper. We sold this place for a nice profit.
Yep. So we then got pregnant with Grace, got another job, and then bought the Cape St. Clair house. So
Yeah.
this was the Edgewater house. It was also built new when we moved in, so I have some videos of it under construction. And then over here on the other side of these places is a pool, so we would go over there and swim. And this hill right behind us was the place where Brandon first experienced snow. It snowed one year, and we took him outside all bundled up, and we must have had some kind of sled,
Yeah.
but he sledded down this little hill. It was so cute. So good memories here. This
Very
was,
good memories. I loved this house.
Me too.
We decorated it with all kinds of Value City furniture.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't think the
Blue plaid was in. Oh.
the walls were never painted change color off of the builder white.
It was blue carpet in the basement.
True. Was there carpet on the second floor? There was like a beige carpet tile.
Brandon had his
kitchen.
first birthday party there.
There's some great videos
themed.
of all the little cousin kids together
Yeah.
here in this house.
Fun times,
Yep.
great memories.
Good times.